Kenya is on fire tonight. Gunfire echoes through the street of Nairobi, and the people are mourning.
Access to restricted areas, prompting a precautionary closure of operations.
The death of one man, Raila Odinga, has shaken the whole nation, but what started as a funeral procession has turned into chaos, with about 2 people dead and several others injured.
Airport, not in anger, but in yearning to be part of a national homecoming.
My name is Kweku Africa, and this is Kenya on the Edge. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share the video. Now let's get into the video.
Guys, if you've enjoyed this video so far, please do me a huge favor and hit the like button and subscribe. These videos take quite a long time to make, so if you could help me out, I'll love you forever. Thank you all for your support. Now let's get back to this crazy story.
Raila Odinga, former Prime Minister and veteran politician, has died at age 80 years in India. The body was flown from India into Kenya. His death sent shockwaves across Eastern Africa because to many, Raila Odinga was not just a politician. He was a symbol of resistance of the reform, of the struggle against corruption and inequality in Kenya. But when his body arrived, grief rather turned into chaos.
For 2 hours, the region's busiest airport came to a standstill. Flights grounded, airspace briefly closed. The kind of halt only a figure of monumental impact could cause. The Kenya Airports Authority confirmed that JKIA airspace was closed from 10:26 a.m. to 12:26 p.m. to allow enhanced security rescreening following the arrival of the late Raila Odinga's remains. Members of the public and travelers were advised to avoid the JKIA area until further notice.
Thousands of mourners gathered at the airport trying to catch a glimpse of the final remains of the man they all call Baba in Kenya.
According to the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority, mourners gained access to restricted areas, prompting a precautionary closure of operations. The official program was clear and tight. 8:30 a.m. arrival at JKIA, 10 a.m. brief stop at Lee Funeral Home, and then at noon procession to State House before public viewing at Parliament. But the clock quickly fell apart. Barely an hour after the touchdown, mourners had breached security perimeters at the airport, forcing a full suspension of operations. The body never made it to Lee and the State House and Parliament. Timelines proved logistically impossible to achieve.
But the crowd broke through airport barriers, breaking the runway at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. And for 2 hours, chaos reigned. Flight grounded and the police overwhelmed, and emotions running high. The procession then moved to the Moi International Airport, where Odinga's body was displayed for public viewing.
Say I'm on my way, won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is turning around. I had to leave a little girl in Bondo town. Down the bay when the nights are gay and the sun shines daily on the mountain top. I took a trip on a sailing ship, and when I reached India, I made a stop. But I'm sad to say I'm on my way, won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is turning around. I have to leave a little girl in Bondo town.
But what was supposed to be a peaceful farewell rather turned into a political chaos, with people rushing for their life.
Into raw emotion where love defied control. The lockdown wasn't of policy, but of people, a collective force the state could neither predict or control.
Witnesses say that the police fired live tear gas and rounds of bullets into the crowd after mourners tried to breach the gates, and at least 2 people are confirmed dead, with several other people injured.
They left their daily hustles to pay tribute to the former premier. Security lines and roadblocks meant little to those whose affection overflowed. They surged past barriers at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, not in anger, but in yearning to be part of a national homecoming. For 2 hours, the region's busiest airport came to a standstill. Flights grounded, airspace briefly closed, the kind of halt only a figure of monumental impact could cause. The Kenya Airports Authority confirmed that JKIA airspace was closed from 10:26 a.m. to 12:26 p.m. to allow enhanced security rescreening following the arrival of the late Raila Odinga's remains. Members of the public and travelers were advised to avoid the JKIA area.
Now, this commotion may be as a result of a rising tension between the police, the security service, and the people. Now, for some time now, residents and people of Kenya have demonstrated severally against the government because of several things and several actions that the government led by William Ruto took. And behind this explosion of anger lies years of maltreatment, high cost of living, accusation of corruption, heavy-handed policing, and a generation that feels rejected and neglected. Earlier this year, youth-led protests shook the nation over police brutality and poor governance. And back then, at least 16 people were dead. And now, the death of Raila Odinga has been the spiking ground which has ignited all those old flames. The government led by William Ruto has responded and declared a national mourning period, with the president saying that Raila Odinga is a symbol of unity. But on the ground, his government faces several criticism for the police's violent response and using excessive force and brutality on the citizens of Kenya. Security forces have locked down part of Nairobi, and there are fears that Kisumu, which is Raila Odinga's hometown, may be the next flashpoint for conflict or any other thing. Because with tension this high, even the funeral for Raila Odinga could turn into a national chaos and disaster. Kenya is no stranger to political tension. From disputed election results to economic protests, the people's patience have been stretched over time. Now, in the middle of Raila Odinga's funeral and the national grief, one question only remains on the mouth of the people. Will Raila Odinga's funeral and death unite the people, or it will divide Kenyans forever? Because tonight, as the fire burns tonight, one thing remains clear, that Kenya is once again on the edge of another history to be made. My name is Kweku Africa. Don't forget to leave your comments, subscribe, and share the video, and let me know what you think about the whole video.
Until further notice. According to the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority, mourners gained access to restricted areas, prompting a precautionary closure of operations. The official program was clear and tight. 8:30 a.m. arrival at JKIA, 10 a.m. brief stop at Lee Funeral Home, and then at noon, procession to State House before public viewing at Parliament. But the clock quickly fell apart. Barely an hour after the touchdown, mourners had breached security perimeters at the airport, forcing a full suspension of operations. The body never made it to Lee and the State House and Parliament. Timelines proved logistically impossible to achieve. By mid-morning, the day's schedule had dissolved, overtaken by human emotion